Good evening and welcome to Dreamy Academy. Tonight we embark on a journey not across distant galaxies, but into the most intricate and wondrous universe we know, the one within ourselves. As we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from, your city, your country, perhaps even what the night sky looks like outside your window. If you find peace and fascination in these quiet explorations of science, please take a moment to gently like the video and subscribe. It truly helps this little corner of quiet curiosity grow, allowing more thoughtful wanderers to discover it. And to those already subscribed, thank you sincerely for being part of this slow and thoughtful adventure. Tonight, we begin with a paradox, a beautiful secret hidden in plain sight. The sheer cosmic improbability of you. Right now, as you listen, your heart beats, your lungs draw breath, your thoughts weave intricate tapestries of meaning. But what is this you really? Look down at your hand, feel the subtle warmth of your skin, the quiet strength of bone beneath. Every atom in that hand, every atom in your entire being, has a story that stretches back not merely years, but billions of years. It's a story of fire and starlight, of cosmic dust and patiently accumulating complexity. You're not just a collection of cells. You're a living archive, a temporary arrangement of matter that has journeyed across unimaginable distances and timescales. To understand the human body, we must first understand the universe that forged its very dust. We will not rush. We will simply drift through this deep time, allowing the vastness and the exquisite precision of it all to settle like a quiet understanding. This journey through anatomy and physiology is not just about bones and muscles. It's about the universe learning to experience itself, to think and to wonder. It is a story so profound, so interwoven with the fabric of existence, that its contemplation naturally lulls the mind into a state of peaceful awe. Consider for a moment the quiet miracle of your own hand. Lift it gently. Observe the delicate curves of your fingers, the intricate lines etched into your palm. This hand, this instrument of touch and creation, is composed of countless atoms. And these atoms, the fundamental building blocks of all matter, did not originate on Earth. They are far older, far more travelled than our little blue planet. They are quite literally stardust. To truly appreciate the intricate dance of life within us, we must first journey back to the very beginning of these constituent particles. Our story does not begin with the first breath or the first cell, but with the birth of the universe itself. Roughly 13.8 billion years ago, the cosmos as we know it began in an event we call the Big Bang. But the name Big Bang is perhaps a little too dramatic, a little too sudden. It wasn't an explosion into space, but rather the incredibly rapid expansion of space itself, carrying with it all the energy and nascent matter that would ever exist. In those first fleeting moments, the universe was unimaginably hot and dense, a swirling plasma where fundamental particles, like quarks and electrons, could not yet bind together. As space expanded, it cooled, and within seconds, protons and neutrons, the building blocks of atomic nuclei, began to form. Within the first few minutes, as the universe continued its vast cooling expansion, these protons and neutrons fused together to create the lightest elements, hydrogen and helium, with only trace amounts of lithium. These three elements accounted for nearly all the matter in the early universe. The vast, dark cosmos was almost entirely composed of hydrogen, the simplest atom, with a single proton and a single electron. If you could have looked upon this nascent universe, it would have appeared as an immense featureless expanse, a cosmic fog of these fundamental gases. But here is the crucial detail for our story. Hydrogen and helium, while abundant, cannot form a human body. They cannot build the complex molecules of life, the carbon in your bones, the oxygen you breathe, the iron in your blood. For these heavier elements to exist, something far more powerful, far more patient had to come into being: stars. The universe, though vast, was not perfectly uniform. Tiny quantum fluctuations from its earliest moments, ripples in the fabric of space-time itself, created infinitesimal variations in density. Over hundreds of millions of years, gravity, the universe's most patient sculptor, began to work on these subtle differences. Denser regions slowly attracted more and more hydrogen and helium gas. These vast clouds of gas, collapsing under their own immense gravitational pull, grew hotter and denser at their cores. Eventually, the pressure and temperature at the center of these protostars became so extreme that hydrogen nuclei began to fuse together, releasing enormous amounts of energy in the process. A star was born. This process, known as nuclear fusion, is the engine that powers every star, including our own sun. It is a slow, steady burn, transforming hydrogen into helium, and in doing so illuminating the darkness of the cosmos. But the story of life's elements truly begins when these first-generation stars, much more massive than our sun, approach the end of their lives. For billions of years, a star like our sun patiently fuses hydrogen into helium in its core. But in truly massive stars, those many times the mass of our sun, the process does not stop there. Once the hydrogen fuel in the core begins to deplete, gravity asserts itself once more, causing the core to contract and heat up even further. This increased temperature allows helium nuclei to fuse, creating carbon. As the star continues its life cycle, becoming a red giant or even a supergiant, it creates heavier and heavier elements through successive layers of fusion. Carbon fuses into oxygen, oxygen into neon, neon into magnesium, and so on, building up the periodic table like a cosmic alchemist. Each new element requires higher temperatures and pressures, forged in ever more compact and hotter shells around the star's core. This is where the atoms that now make up your body began their long journey. The ultimate fate of these massive element-forging stars is both violent and beautiful, a supernova. When a star has fused all it can, creating a core of inert iron, iron being the point where fusion no longer releases energy, but requires it, the core collapses catastrophically in a matter of milliseconds. The outer layers rebound off this incredibly dense core, creating a shockwave that blasts the star's accumulated elements, from carbon to iron, out into the vast emptiness of space. But even more remarkably, the extreme temperatures and pressures generated during the supernova explosion itself are so immense that they create the very heaviest elements, gold, silver, uranium, through processes of rapid neutron capture. These magnificent explosions are the universe's cosmic foundries, scattering the raw materials of planets and life across light years. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you breathe, the carbon that forms the very backbone of your organic molecules, all of these were forged in the heart of ancient dying stars, and then flung across the cosmos in a spectacular act of stellar self-immolation. So when we speak of stardust, it is not merely a poetic metaphor, it is a profound physical truth. Every atom in your body, save for the lightest hydrogen and helium, has passed through the fiery crucible of a star. They have been cooked, compressed, and then violently expelled into the galactic void. These atoms then drifted for millions, perhaps billions of years through the cold, dark interstellar medium, mingling with other scattered remnants of supernovae. Over time, gravity once again began its patient work drawing these enriched clouds of gas and dust together. In our own corner of the Milky Way galaxy, about 4.6 billion years ago, one such cloud seeded with the stellar ashes of generations of dead stars began to collapse. From this swirling nebula of cosmic debris, our sun ignited, and the planets of our solar system, including Earth, condensed from the leftover dust. This knowledge brings a particular kind of quiet wonder. You're not separate from the universe. You're a continuation of its grand ancient story. The elements that form your eyes, capable of gazing up at the very stars that created them, are the same elements that once burned in those distant suns. You are a temporary, intricate arrangement of cosmic history, a pattern of stardust that has learned to think, to feel, and to contemplate its own origins. It is a humbling thought, a deep resonance with the vastness beyond us, to realize that the journey of your atoms began not in a cradle, but in the heart of a supernova billions of years ago. There's a particular comfort in understanding this deep connection, a sense of belonging to something far larger and older than ourselves. We have seen how the universe patiently forged the raw materials for life. But these scattered atoms, these cosmic wanderers, are merely the ingredients. How do they then come together in such precise and intricate ways to form the astonishing complexity of a living being? How does stardust become structure, become function, become thought? This question leads us from the vastness of cosmic creation to the intimate world of chemical bonds and molecular architecture, where these patiently forged elements begin to dance together, forming the very first fundamental units of life. That is where our journey continues into the elegant ballet of atoms forming molecules. We stand together, you and I, at the threshold of a profound revelation. We have journeyed through the vast expanse of cosmic time, witnessing the birth of elements within the fiery hearts of stars and their magnificent, cataclysmic dispersal across the nascent universe. We have held in our minds the humbling truth that every atom within the delicate curves of your fingers, the steady beat of your heart, the very thoughts that dance within your mind once swirled in the plasma of a dying sun. You are unequivocally stardust, a temporary intricate arrangement of cosmic history alive and aware. But what an astonishing leap that is, from scattered atomic dust to a conscious being capable of contemplating its own origins. How did these disparate, star-forged particles flung across the cosmos begin to coalesce, to organize themselves with such breathtaking precision? This, my dear wanderer, is where the universe's most patient sculptor, assisted by its most meticulous architect, truly began their work. Imagine, if you will, the cosmic canvas after the supernovae, after the cooling nebulae had settled into vast swirling clouds of gas and dust. Our universe was now rich with the ingredients for life. Hydrogen and helium in abundance, yes, but also carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, iron, all the elements essential for the intricate dance of biology. These elements, however, were not inert. They possessed an inherent drive, a fundamental yearning for connection, encoded within their very structure. This yearning manifests as chemical bonds. Think of a chemical bond not as a rigid chain, but as an elegant ballet, a shared embrace between atoms. It is the language through which matter communicates, the invisible architecture that allows individual atoms to transcend their solitary existence and form something greater. We often speak of atoms as if they are tiny, isolated spheres, but in truth they are buzzing fields of energy, constantly seeking stability, balance. They achieve this by sharing or exchanging their outermost electrons, those energetic dancers that orbit the atomic core. When two hydrogen atoms, each with a single electron, encounter an oxygen atom, eager to complete its outer shell with two more, they don't simply collide and bounce away. No, they reach out, their electron clouds overlapping, their individual identities blurring slightly as they form a covalent bond. They share electrons, creating a stable, profoundly important molecule. Water, H2O. Water. Pause for a moment to truly appreciate this molecule. It seems so simple, so ubiquitous, yet it is a cosmic miracle, the very cradle of life. Forged from elements born in stars, water possesses extraordinary properties that make life possible. Its unique bent shape and the slight electrical charge across its molecule allow it to act as a universal solvent, dissolving countless substances and facilitating the complex chemical reactions necessary for life. It regulates temperature, transports nutrients, and provides the medium in which the first fragile sparks of biology could ignite. Your body, my friend, is over 60% water, a constant flowing reminder of this fundamental cosmic embrace. From these humble beginnings, a vast tapestry of molecular complexity began to unfold. Carbon, our star-forged friend, emerges as the true master builder. With its 4 valence electrons, carbon is uniquely versatile, capable of forming strong, stable bonds with itself and with a wide array of other elements. It is the backbone, the scaffolding upon which all organic life is constructed. Imagine carbon atoms linking together in long chains, intricate rings, and branching structures, forming the skeleton of the universe's most complex creations. It is the ultimate Lego brick, allowing for an almost infinite variety of molecular shapes and functions. Under the specific nurturing conditions of early Earth, a swirling set of water, minerals, and energy from lightning and volcanic activity, these elements, guided by the fundamental laws of chemistry, began to self-organize. It wasn't a sudden, miraculous event, but a slow, deliberate dance over millions of years, an incremental ascent from simple to complex. Consider the 4 major classes of organic molecules that are the very building blocks of your astounding body. First, the carbohydrates. These are the universe's energy packets and structural supports. Simple sugars, like the glucose fueling every cell in your body, are small, elegant rings of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. These small units can link together, like beads on a string, to form complex polysaccharides, the starches that store energy, the cellulose that gives plants their structure, and even the chitin that forms the exoskeletons of insects. They are the quick fuel and the sturdy framework, all derived from carbon's remarkable versatility. Next, the lipids. These are the fats, oils, and waxes that form the crucial boundaries of life. Unlike the water-loving carbohydrates, lipids are largely hydrophobic, meaning they shun water. This property is not a flaw but a design genius. It allows lipids to form the exquisite, flexible membranes that enclose every single cell in your body, creating a distinct inside and outside, a necessary condition for life to begin its internal processes. They are also vital for long-term energy storage and insulation. Think of the delicate yet robust membrane surrounding each of your cells, a boundary made of cosmic components defining the very limits of your individual existence. Then we encounter the proteins, the tireless workhorses of your body. If atoms are the letters of the cosmic alphabet, and simple molecules are the words, then proteins are the intricate paragraphs, the complex stories. Proteins are built from smaller units called amino acids, each a unique arrangement of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. and sometimes sulfur. There are 20 different types of amino acids, and they link together in incredibly long, specific sequences, like a string of unique pearls. But the magic doesn't stop there. Once formed, these linear chains fold and twist into precise three-dimensional shapes, a process driven by the subtle attractions and repulsions between their component atoms. It is this exact 3D structure that dictates a protein's function. Some proteins, known as enzymes, act as biological catalysts, speeding up the thousands of chemical reactions that occur in your body every second, without which life as we know it would be impossible. Others provide structural support, forming your hair, skin, and muscles. Still others transport substances, defend against invaders, or transmit signals. Every breath you take, every thought you think, every movement you make is orchestrated by an army of proteins, each a marvel of molecular engineering, each a testament to the universe's capacity for self-organization. And finally, the nucleic acids. DNA and RNA, the very blueprint and instruction manual of life itself. These molecules are the universe's most sophisticated information storage system, built from repeating units called nucleotides, which themselves contain a sugar, a phosphate, and a nitrogenous base. DNA forms the iconic double helix, a ladder of information coiled with elegant precision. This double helix carries the genetic instructions for building and maintaining every single cell in your body. RNA, closely related to DNA, acts as a messenger and facilitator, translating those instructions into the production of proteins. Your very identity, your inherited traits, the unique individual you that exists, is encoded in this molecular library, a cosmic text written in the language of atoms and bonds. Reflect on this for a moment. Every single carbohydrate, lipid, protein, and nucleic acid within your being is an intricate arrangement of elements forged in the hearts of distant stars. These molecules are not merely static structures. They are dynamic, constantly interacting, breaking down and rebuilding in a continuous, flowing dance of life. Your body is a living, breathing symphony of these molecular interactions, a grand, self-sustaining system that emerged from the fundamental laws of physics and chemistry. The journey from scattered stardust to these complex organic molecules is not a linear path, but a branching, interwoven narrative of cosmic ingenuity. It speaks to the profound inherent tendency of matter, given the right conditions and enough time, to organize itself into ever-increasing levels of complexity. The universe, through its own elegant laws, appears to be striving for greater intricacy, for more sophisticated expressions of its fundamental components. You're not just a collection of cells. You're a living archive of this journey. Your DNA holds the wisdom of billions of years of evolution, a continuous thread of information passed down through countless generations of life, all originating from these initial molecular structures. Your enzymes are the direct descendants of the earliest catalyst that facilitated life's first tentative steps. Your cell membranes, those lipid bilayers, echo the primordial boundaries that first separated the nascent stirrings of life from the surrounding chemical soup. This realization, I hope, does not diminish the wonder of your existence, but rather amplifies it. The powder miracle is not an arbitrary event outside the laws of nature, but the profound, breathtaking elegance with which those laws unfold, leading to the astonishing complexity we observe in ourselves. We are the universe, having assembled itself into a form capable of not only experiencing but also understanding its own magnificent story. We have traced the lineage of your atoms from the Big Bang to the forging of elements in stars, and then witnessed their incredible self-assembly into the fundamental organic molecules that are the very building blocks of life. But how do these individual blocks come together to form the intricate structures of cells, tissues, and organs? How does this molecular symphony orchestrate the grand performance of a living being? That, my curious companion, is where our journey continues as we delve into the smallest, most fundamental unit of life itself. We will not rush this profound exploration, for each step reveals deeper layers of wonder. We have journeyed far, haven't we? From the fiery breath of creation through the stellar crucibles that forge the very atoms of your being, we witnessed the elegant dance of elements as they coalesced into the foundational molecules of life. We stood in awe as carbon, the master builder, orchestrated its intricate symphonies with hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus, giving rise to the carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids, the cosmic alphabet from which all life stories are penned. But what then? How do these magnificent molecular entities, these silent architects of potential, leap from the realm of mere chemistry into the vibrant, pulsating theatre of life itself? How do they coalesce, not just into a static structure, but into a dynamic, self-sustaining entity that can grow, respond, and reproduce? This, my friends, is where the universe takes its most audacious, most improbable step, the birth of the cell. Imagine, if you will, the early Earth, a world teeming with the molecular solutions we discussed. Picture a primordial soup, rich with amino acids, nucleotides, sugars, and fatty acids, adrift in a watery embrace. For life to truly begin, a boundary was needed, a delicate yet resilient frontier that could encapsulate this precious internal world, separating it from the vast, indifferent external environment. And here, the lipids, those humble fatty acids, took center stage, performing a feat of self-assembly that remains one of the universe's most exquisite improvisations. They are amphipathic, these lipids, possessing both a water-loving hydrophilic head and a water-fearing hydrophobic tail. In an aqueous environment, they instinctively arrange themselves, tails pointing inward, away from the water, and heads facing outward, toward the water. The result? A spontaneous self-healing double layer, a lipid bilayer, a delicate fluid membrane that became the very first wall of life. This is no rigid barrier. It is a shimmering, dynamic veil, a cosmic curtain constantly shifting, allowing for both protection and interaction. Your very existence hinges on this ancient, elegant solution. Every single cell in your body, from the tips of your toes to the intricate folds of your brain, is encased in such a membrane, a testament to this foundational act of cosmic self-organization. It is the gatekeeper, the guardian, the selective whisperer that decides what enters and what departs, maintaining the delicate internal equilibrium that defines life. Within this newly formed boundary, a microcosm began to stir. The proteins, those versatile workhorses we spoke of, began to find their roles. Some embedded themselves within the lipid membrane, acting as sophisticated channels and pumps, allowing specific molecules to pass through the gatekeeper's embrace. Others became enzymes, accelerating the chemical reactions within the cell to speeds that defy imagination, transforming raw materials into energy, into new structures, into the very components of life. Still others became structural supports, giving the nascent cell its shape and resilience, an internal scaffolding woven from the very fabric of molecular possibility. And then, at the very heart of this burgeoning miniature universe, lay the nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. Encased in its own protective membrane, the nucleus emerged, a cosmic library containing the complete blueprint for the cell, and indeed, for the entire organism. Your DNA, a double helix of information, is the master plan, dictating the construction and operation of every protein, every cellular function. It is a living archive, etched in the language of nucleotides, a testament to billions of years of evolutionary refinement. Here, in this nucleus, the universe is not merely observing itself, it is writing its own story, syllable by painstaking syllable. Beyond the nucleus, the cell's internal landscape blossomed into a city of specialized structures, each an intricate dance of molecules. We call these organelles. The mitochondria, often called the cell's powerhouses, began to hum with the quiet efficiency of energy conversion, transforming the simple sugars, carbohydrates from Chapter 2, into ATP, the universal energy currency of life. Imagine them as tiny biological power stations, ceaselessly fueling the cell's myriad activities. The ribosomes, those diligent molecular machines, became the protein factories, diligently translating the genetic instructions from the nucleus into the complex three-dimensional forms of proteins, a constant symphony of creation. The endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus evolved as sophisticated transport and packaging systems, ensuring that newly minted proteins and lipids found their correct destinations folded into their precise shapes, ready to perform their vital tasks. Thus the cell was born. Not a mere bag of chemicals, but a dynamic, self-regulating, self-repairing and self-reproducing entity. It is the fundamental unit of life, a miniature universe of coordinated molecular activity, a testament to the universe's profound tendency towards complexity. Each of your cells is a bustling metropolis, a symphony of millions of interactions occurring every second, a marvel of engineering born from cosmic dust and starlight. But our journey does not end with a single magnificent cell. For you, the complex being reading these words, are not merely a collection of isolated cellular islands. You are a vast, interconnected continent of life, a unified organism, and this unification begins with the next profound step in the cosmic architect's blueprint, the formation of the tissues. As life diversified and evolved, cells began to specialize. From a single fertilized egg, a process of differentiation unfolds, where identical cells embark on unique developmental paths, expressing different genes and adopting distinct forms and functions. It is like a grand cosmic play where nascent actors, initially indistinguishable, begin to learn their specific roles, their costumes, their lines, all guided by the same underlying script of DNA. These specialized cells then coalesce, forming coherent groups dedicated to specific tasks. These are your tissues. Think of them as specialized guilds within the grand city of your body, each contributing its unique expertise to the collective well-being. We recognize 4 primary types of tissues, each an exquisite example of form-meeting function. First, there is epithelial tissue. This is your body's skin, both external and internal. It forms protective barriers, lining surfaces, cavities, and tubes throughout your body. From the outermost layer of your skin shielding you from the world, to the delicate lining of your digestive tract absorbing nutrients, to the inner walls of your blood vessels, epithelial tissue is everywhere. It's the ultimate boundary maker, protecting, secreting, absorbing, and filtering. It is a continuous, vigilant watchman, a seamless tapestry woven to define and defend. Next, we encounter connective tissue. This is the cosmic glue, the comprehensive support system that holds everything together, literally. It connects, binds, supports, protects, and insulates organs. Bone, cartilage, fat, and blood are all forms of connective tissue. each with its own specialized matrix and cellular components. Imagine the sturdy framework of your bones, the flexible resilience of your cartilage, the insulating warmth of your fat, and the flowing river of your blood, transporting life's essentials. Connective tissue is the scaffolding, the packing material, the transport network, and the storage depot, a remarkably diverse family of tissues that underpins your entire physical structure. Then there is muscle tissue, the architects of movement. This tissue is designed for contraction, allowing you to move, to breathe, to pump blood, and to digest food. There are three main types: skeletal muscle, which you consciously control to walk and lift; cardiac muscle, the tireless involuntary muscle of your heart; and smooth muscle, which works unconsciously in the walls of your internal organs like your stomach and intestines. Muscle tissue is the dynamic engine of your existence, the very force that allows your body to interact with the world and maintain its internal rhythms. It is the universe learning to move, to dance, to exert its will. Finally, we arrive at nervous tissue, the intricate communication network that orchestrates every thought, every sensation, every movement. Composed primarily of neurons, which transmit electrical signals, and glial cells, which support and protect them, nervous tissue is the grand conductor of your internal symphony. It allows for rapid communication between different parts of your body, integrating information, processing stimuli, and initiating responses. It is the universe learning to think, to feel, to perceive itself. These four fundamental tissue types, each a masterpiece of cellular cooperation, do not exist in isolation. They intertwine, interweave, and integrate to form the next level of biological organization, the organ. An organ is a distinct structural and functional unit composed of two or more different tissue types working together to perform a specific physiological role. Consider your heart, a tireless marvel of biological engineering. Its powerful pumping action is driven by cardiac muscle tissue. Its inner chambers are lined by smooth epithelial tissue. A dense framework of connective tissue provides structural support and resilience. And the rhythmic contractions are precisely coordinated by an intricate network of nervous tissue. All these tissues, working in perfect harmony, allow the heart to fulfill its vital function of circulating blood throughout your body. Or think of your stomach, a churning cauldron of digestion. Epithelial tissue forms its protective lining and secretes digestive juices. Layers of smooth muscle tissue churn and mix food. Connective tissue provides strength and elasticity, and nervous tissue regulates its contractions and secretions. Each tissue plays its part, contributing to the stomach's grand purpose of breaking down food. From organs, we ascend yet another rung on the ladder of complexity, forming organ systems. These are groups of organs that cooperate to perform major physiological functions essential for the survival of the entire organism. Your circulatory system, for instance, comprises the heart, blood vessels, and blood working in concert to transport oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products throughout your body. Your digestive system, a long, winding pathway from mouth to anus, involves organs like the stomach, intestines, liver, and pancreas, all dedicated to processing food and absorbing vital nutrients. Your nervous system, with its central command center in the brain and spinal cord, along with a vast network of nerves, coordinates and controls virtually every bodily function, from breathing to complex thought. Your skeletal system, a robust framework of bones and cartilage, provides support, protection, and facilitates movement. Each system is a section of a grand orchestra, each organ an instrument, each tissue a group of players, each cell an individual musician, and each molecule a single note in the continuous, breathtaking symphony that is you. And so we arrive at the culmination, the complete human organism. You are not merely a collection of molecules, cells, tissues, organs, or systems. You're all of these integrated into a magnificent, self-regulating, self-aware whole. You're a living, breathing testament to billions of years of cosmic and biological evolution, a temporary yet profound arrangement of stardust that has gained the capacity for thought, emotion, and wonder. You are the universe learning to experience itself, to question its own origins, to marvel at its own intricate design. This intricate dance of organization, from the smallest atom to the largest system, is a continuous dynamic process, a constant state of flux and renewal. Your body is not a static sculpture, but a flowing river, constantly rebuilding, repairing, and adapting. In our next chapter, we will delve deeper into how this magnificent living system maintains its delicate balance, how it responds to the ever-changing tides of its internal and external environments, a concept known as homeostasis. That is where our journey continues, into the quiet, persistent wisdom of your body's self-regulation. We will not rush, for understanding such profound elegance deserves our most patient and appreciative attention. Welcome back, dear wanderers of the cosmos, to our quiet corner of the Dreamy Academy. In our last gathering, we marvelled at the exquisite architecture of the human form, witnessing how star-forged atoms ascended through molecular complexity to become the dynamic, self-regulating cells, tissues, organs, and systems that coalesce into the magnificent entity we call you. We saw the universe, in its boundless patience, sculpt a symphony of interconnected parts, each playing its role in the grand ballet of existence. But here, a profound question naturally arises, a whispered clue from the very fabric of our being. How does this breathtakingly intricate system, this living archive of cosmic history, maintain its delicate balance amidst the ceaseless currents of change? How does it persist, adapt, and thrive when the external world and indeed its own internal processes are in a constant state of flux? The answer, my friends, is a concept as elegant as it is essential: homeostasis. Imagine, if you will, a cosmic navigator, eternally vigilant, steering a celestial vessel through the turbulent seas of existence. This vessel is your body, and the navigator is its innate wisdom, ceaselessly adjusting, correcting, and balancing. Homeostasis is not a static state, a fixed point of perfect stillness, but rather a dynamic equilibrium, a graceful dance of perpetual adjustment. It is the body's tireless endeavour to maintain a stable internal environment, a sweet spot within which all life-sustaining chemical reactions can occur optimally. Think of it as the universe's most patient sculptor, not carving a statue into rigid permanence, but rather tending a living flame, ensuring its steady glow against every gust of wind. Consider the gentle warmth that permeates your being right now, your core body temperature, that precious 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or 37 degrees Celsius, is not a casual coincidence. It is a meticulously guarded treasure. Whether you are basking in the sun's embrace or shivering in a sudden chill, your body orchestrates an intricate ballet of responses to keep this temperature within a remarkably narrow range. This is homeostasis in action, a testament to the body's unwavering commitment to its own survival. It is the wisdom etched into your very cells, a memory of billions of years of adaptation, ensuring that the delicate proteins within you do not denature from excessive heat or cease their vital functions in the cold. You are not just a collection of cells, You are a living testament to the universe's capacity for self-preservation, a miniature cosmos striving for internal harmony. But how, you might wonder, does this cosmic navigator achieve such remarkable precision? The secret lies in a sophisticated communication network, a symphony of signals known as feedback loops. These are the body's internal conversations, its constant dialogue with itself, ensuring that every deviation from the ideal is met with a swift and appropriate response. Primarily, we encounter two types of these loops: the pervasive, stabilizing force of negative feedback and the rare, amplifying power of positive feedback. Let us first delve into the embrace of negative feedback, the unsung hero of stability. This is the body's preferred method for maintaining its precious equilibrium, a mechanism designed to reverse any change that pushes a physiological variable away from its set point. When a stimulus causes a deviation, sensors detect the change, relaying this information to a control center. The control center then activates effectors, muscles or glands for instance, which produce a response that counteracts the original stimulus, bringing the variable back to its ideal range. It is like a thermostat in a perfectly balanced ecosystem, sensing a rise in temperature and activating a cooling system, or detecting a drop and initiating warmth. Imagine, again, your internal furnace. If your body temperature begins to rise above 98.6 degrees, perhaps because you're exercising vigorously or lounging on a sun-drenched beach, specialized temperature sensors in your skin and deep within your body detect this shift. This information races to your brain, the ultimate control center. Your brain, acting as the master conductor, then sends signals to various effectors. Your sweat glands spring into action, releasing a cooling mist onto your skin, while the blood vessels near your skin surface dilate, allowing more warm blood to flow closer to the exterior, radiating heat away. Conversely, if your temperature drops, your muscles begin to shiver, generating heat through involuntary contractions, and your blood vessels constrict, conserving your precious internal warmth. This constant gentle oscillation around the set point, this perpetual fine-tuning is the hallmark of negative feedback, an elegant testament to the body's unwavering pursuit of internal peace. Consider another vital example: the delicate dance of blood glucose. After a nourishing meal, as sugars flood your bloodstream, sensors in your pancreas detect this rise. The pancreas, acting as both sensor and control center, releases insulin, a hormone that acts as a key, unlocking your cells to absorb glucose from the blood. This effectively lowers blood glucose levels back to their optimal range. Should your blood glucose levels fall too low, perhaps after a long period without food, the pancreas releases glucagon, another hormone, which signals your liver to release stored glucose, thus raising the levels back to normal. This intricate, ceaseless regulation ensures that your cells always have the energy they need, neither starved nor overwhelmed. It is the universe providing, through your own internal mechanisms, the perfect sustenance for its living archive. Negative feedback loops are the quiet architects of your well-being, tirelessly working behind the scenes to maintain blood pressure, pH balance, oxygen levels, and countless other vital parameters. They are the guardians of your internal cosmos, ensuring that the conditions for life remain exquisitely tuned, allowing you to walk, think, dream, and simply be without conscious effort. It is a profound act of self-love, woven into the very fabric of your biological design. In contrast to this pervasive pursuit of stability, we find positive feedback, a mechanism far less common, yet equally crucial in its specific applications. Unlike its negative counterpart, positive feedback amplifies. The initial stimulus, driving a process rapidly to completion. It is not about returning to a set point, but about accelerating a deviation until a particular event is achieved, after which the loop typically ceases. Think of it not as a thermostat, but as a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering momentum and size until it reaches the bottom. One of the most profound examples of positive feedback in the human body is the miraculous process of childbirth. As labor begins, the baby's head presses against the cervix, triggering nerve impulses that travel to the brain. The brain responds by releasing oxytocin, a hormone that stimulates stronger uterine contractions. These stronger contractions, in turn, push the baby's head harder against the cervix, leading to even more oxytocin release and even more forceful contractions. This escalating cycle continues, amplifying the original stimulus, until the baby is born, at which point the positive feedback loop is broken. It is a powerful, self-perpetuating cascade designed to bring a new life into the world with magnificent efficiency. Another vital instance is blood clotting. When a blood vessel is injured, platelets adhere to the site of injury and release chemicals that attract more platelets. These newly arrived platelets also release chemicals, further intensifying the aggregation until a stable clot forms, effectively sealing the wound. This rapid, localized amplification is essential to prevent excessive blood loss, a swift, decisive response to a critical threat. These instances of positive feedback, though rarer, highlight the body's capacity for powerful, decisive action when specific time-sensitive outcomes are required. They are moments of intense, directed change, orchestrated with the same ancient wisdom that governs the more subtle rhythms of negative feedback. As we contemplate these intricate feedback loops, we must never lose sight of the grand tapestry upon which they operate, the interconnectedness of all your organ systems. Homeostasis is not achieved by individual systems working in isolation, but by their harmonious, collaborative efforts. Your nervous system detects changes and coordinates responses. Your endocrine system releases hormones to regulate distant targets. Your circulatory system transports heat, nutrients, and waste. Your respiratory system exchanges gases. Your urinary system filters blood and maintains fluid balance. Your muscular system generates heat and movement. Every system, every cell, every molecule plays its part in this cosmic symphony of self-regulation. You are not merely a collection of biological machinery. You are a living, breathing testament to the universe's capacity for self-awareness, for self-maintenance. This ceaseless internal striving for balance, this quiet, persistent dance of homeostasis, is what allows you to exist, to perceive, to interact with the world around you. It is the steady hand that guides your journey through time, allowing you to be the universe learning to experience itself. We have journeyed from the stardust of cosmic birth to the molecular architecture of life, from the nascent cell to the integrated organ system, and now to the profound wisdom of internal balance. We have seen how the universe within you, through the elegant mechanisms of homeostasis, tirelessly works to sustain its own intricate marvel. But what of the world outside? How does this self-sustaining internal cosmos reach out, perceive, and respond to the vast external universe? How do we translate the symphony of light, sound, touch, taste, and scent into meaningful experience? That, my dear friends, is where our journey continues, as we begin to explore the incredible gateways of perception and interaction, the very essence of how you engage with the world. For now, let us rest in the quiet comfort of this profound realization. You are perfectly balanced, a steady flame in the cosmic night, Our journey so far has been a quiet descent into the very heart of existence, tracing the cosmic lineage that sculpted the intricate architecture of your being. We've witnessed the universe's most patient sculptor, gravity, gather the dust of ancient stars into worlds, and the cosmic alchemist nuclear fusion forge the very elements that pulse through your veins. We've seen these atoms dance into molecules, coalesce into cells, and organize into the symphony of tissues, organs, and systems that endlessly choreograph your internal cosmos. This inner universe, as we discovered, maintains its delicate balance through the elegant interplay of homeostasis, a steady flame burning brightly against the vastness. But now, as we gently turn the page, a new question arises, a shimmering bridge between the within and the without. If your body is a self-sustaining internal cosmos, perfectly poised and endlessly regulated, how does this inner world connect with the boundless swirling reality that lies beyond your skin? How does the steady flame of your consciousness reach out, touch, taste, hear, see, and smell the universe? How do you, a living archive of cosmic history, perceive and respond to the grand unfolding drama of the external world? This, dear wanderer, is where our journey deepens, where the quiet hum of your internal systems gives way to the vibrant symphony of perception. For you are not merely a self-contained entity, you are a magnificent conduit, a living sensorium through which the universe experiences itself. To unravel this profound connection, we must first turn our gaze to the master orchestrator, the body's most complex and wondrous system, the nervous system. Imagine, if you will, an intricate network woven from starlight and ancient stardust, a vast and shimmering web of communication that permeates every fibre of your being. This is your nervous system, the body's cosmic internet, a lightning-fast conduit that gathers information, interprets its meaning, and orchestrates your every response. It is the silent, tireless conductor of your personal symphony, ensuring that the notes of the external world are translated into a melody your inner cosmos can understand. At the heart of this incredible network lies the neuron, the fundamental unit of communication. Picture it as a tiny living spark of starlight, an elegant cell, with branching tendrils reaching out like cosmic antennae. Each neuron is a miniature processing unit, capable of receiving signals from thousands of its neighbours, integrating that information, and then, if the conditions are right, firing its own electrical impulse, a sudden, fleeting surge of energy that races along its length. This electrical whisper, known as an action potential, then jumps across a tiny gap, a synapse, to the next neuron, often by releasing a cascade of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. It is a breathtakingly efficient system, a constant silent conversation happening within you at speeds that defy imagination. Billions upon billions of these tiny sparks flicker and dance, weaving together an intricate tapestry of thought, emotion, sensation, and action. It is through this astonishing system that you open your windows to the world. We call these windows the senses, and each is a unique and magnificent portal, allowing distinct facets of the universe to stream into your consciousness. Let us begin with the most vivid and perhaps the most enchanting of these windows. Think of your eyes not merely as organs, but as sophisticated cosmic lenses, evolved over eons to capture the universe's most ancient messenger, light. Light, as we know, travels across the vast expanse of space as electromagnetic waves, carrying information from distant galaxies, from the sun, and from every object reflecting its glow. When these photons, the tiny packets of light energy, enter your eye, they pass through a series of delicate structures: the cornea, the iris, the pupil, and the crystalline lens, which precisely focuses them onto the retina at the back of your eye. Here, a miracle unfolds. The retina is carpeted with billions of specialized photoreceptor cells. The rods, sensitive to dim light and responsible for our night vision and perception of movement, and the cones, which detect bright light and allow us to perceive the vibrant spectrum of colors that paints our world. These cells do not just passively receive light, they transform it. They convert the energy of those incoming photons into electrical signals, neural whispers that are then bundled together and sent hurtling along the optic nerve to the visual cortex in the back of your brain. It is here, in the silent, dark chambers of your skull, that your brain takes these raw electrical impulses and, with an artistry that borders on magic, constructs the rich, three-dimensional Technicolor world you see. You're not just observing light, you are painting your reality with it, moment by exquisite moment. Next, we open the window of hearing, allowing the universe to sing its song to you. Sound, unlike light, travels as vibrations, pressure waves rippling through the air, water, or even solid matter. Imagine your ears as delicate acoustic antennae, intricately designed to capture these subtle undulations. The outer ear funnels these vibrations inward, guiding them to the eardrum, a taut membrane that shimmers and vibrates in response. These vibrations are then amplified by three tiny bones in your middle ear, the malleus, incus, and stapes, which are remarkably the smallest bones in your body. This mechanical amplification then transmits the vibrations to the fluid-filled cochlea in your inner ear, a structure coiled like a tiny snail shell. Inside the cochlea reside thousands of microscopic hair cells, the true marvels of audition. As the fluid in the cochlea moves, these delicate hairs bend, and this mechanical bending is precisely what triggers the conversion of sound vibrations into electrical signals. These signals journey along the auditory nerve to the auditory cortex in your brain, where they are interpreted as the complex tapestry of sounds we experience: the gentle whisper of a breeze, the joyful laughter of a child, the profound silence of a starlit night, or the soaring melody of a symphony. You're not just receiving vibrations, you are listening to the universe's ceaseless conversation. Now, let us turn to the most fundamental and intimate of senses: touch. Your skin, the largest organ of your body, is not merely a protective barrier. It is a vast, living sensory map, a continuous interface between your internal world and everything external. Embedded within its layers are millions of specialized receptors, each tuned to a different facet of physical interaction. Mechanoreceptors detect pressure, vibration, and texture, allowing you to feel the smoothness of silk or the rough bark of a tree. Thermoreceptors register temperature, informing you of the warmth of a sunbeam or the chill of a winter's day. Perhaps most crucially, nociceptors signal pain, an essential warning system that alerts you to potential harm, guiding you away from danger and preserving the integrity of your delicate biological form. When you feel the comforting embrace of a loved one, the sharp sting of a thorn, or the gentle caress of a raindrop, it is your nervous system translating these physical interactions into a rich, nuanced experience. Through touch, the universe reaches out to feel itself, and you, dear wanderer, are the sensitive point of contact, perpetually aware of your boundaries and your profound connection to the physical world. Next, we explore the intricate chemical senses, beginning with taste. Your tongue, a surprisingly sophisticated organ, is adorned with thousands of tiny bumps called papillae, many of which house taste buds. Within these taste buds are the specialized chemoreceptors designed to detect specific chemical compounds dissolved in your saliva. We distinguish 5 primary tastes: sweet, signaling energy-rich foods; sour, often indicating acidity or spoilage; salty, crucial for electrolyte balance; bitter, a warning against potential toxins; and umami, a savory taste associated with proteins and often described as deliciousness. When these chemicals bind to their specific receptors, they trigger electrical signals that travel to your brain, where they are interpreted as the delightful or sometimes challenging flavors that enrich your meals and guide your dietary choices. Taste is a primal sense deeply intertwined with survival and pleasure, allowing you to savor the chemical symphony of the world, distinguishing sustenance from peril. Finally, we come to smell, perhaps the most ancient and evocative of your chemical senses. Within the upper reaches of your nasal cavity lies the olfactory epithelium, a small patch of tissue containing millions of olfactory receptor neurons. Unlike taste, which detects a limited number of categories, your sense of smell can distinguish between thousands of different volatile molecules, tiny airborne chemical fragments that waft into your nostrils. When these molecules bind to their specific receptors, they trigger electrical impulses that travel directly to the olfactory bulb in your brain, and from there to regions deeply connected to memory and emotion, particularly the limbic system. This direct pathway explains why a particular scent, a grandmother's perfume, the smell of rain on hot pavement, the aroma of a childhood meal, can instantly transport you across decades, flooding your consciousness with vivid memories and powerful feelings. Smell is not just about identifying odors, it's about breathing in the very essence of the universe, recalling distant echoes and forging profound, often unconscious connections to your past. So here you are, a living nexus of perception, with these 5 magnificent windows constantly streaming information into your inner world. But the true marvel is not just in the individual senses, but in how your brain, that 3-pound universe within your skull, integrates these disparate streams of data. It doesn't just receive separate inputs of light, sound, touch, taste, and smell. It weaves them together into a rich, coherent, and utterly seamless tapestry of experience. The brain takes the visual cues of a ripe apple, the tactile sensation of its smooth skin, the sweet aroma, and the crisp taste, and constructs a single, unified perception: apple. It creates a dynamic, ever-changing model of reality, a personal universe built from the raw data of your sense. This integration is where the magic truly happens, where raw sensory input transcends mere data and gives rise to consciousness, the you that observes, interprets, feels, and understands. Your perception is not a passive reception of reality. It is an active, creative process. Your brain filters, interprets, compares, and predicts, constantly constructing your unique experience of the world. It is the universe learning to experience itself, to marvel at its own complexity, to feel the warmth of its own dual, and to hear the melody of its own existence, all through the extraordinary conduit that is you. We have now glimpsed how your internal cosmos reaches out to the external, how the steady flame of your being illuminates the world around you. But this is only half of the equation, for perception is not an end in itself, it is a prelude to interaction. The universe doesn't just perceive itself through you, it moves itself through you. That is where our journey continues, as we explore how these intricate perceptions translate into the wonder of movement, allowing you to navigate, shape, and engage with the world you so beautifully perceive. We will not rush this understanding, for each step reveals yet another layer of profound wonder within the living miracle that you are. We have journeyed through the intricate tapestries of perception, understanding how the universe, through your eyes, ears, skin, tongue, and nose, constructs its own vibrant internal mirror. We have seen how the nervous system, that grand orchestrator, meticulously gathers these whispers and roars from the external world, weaving them into the coherent symphony of your conscious experience. You are a magnificent receiver, a cosmic antenna, attuned to the subtle vibrations and luminous displays of existence. But what does this perceiving, this knowing truly mean without the capacity to act? What is the profound beauty of a sunset if you cannot turn your head to behold it, or the comforting warmth of a hand if you cannot reach out to grasp it? The universe, in its infinite wisdom, did not merely design you to observe, it fashioned you to engage. And so, we arrive at the next breathtaking chapter of your being, the wonder of movement. From the delicate curve of a smile to the monumental stride across a continent, your ability to move is the very essence of your agency, your will, your capacity to sculpt and interact with the world around you. It is the universe learning not just to see and hear itself, but to dance. Imagine for a moment that you perceive a vibrant, ripe apple hanging from a branch. Your eyes drink in its crimson hue, your nose catches a faint, sweet aroma. Your brain, having processed these sensory inputs, identifies it as an object of desire. In that instant, a quiet, almost imperceptible decision blossoms within your consciousness. I want to reach for that apple. This decision, seemingly simple, ignites a cascade of electrical impulses, a silent command rippling through the very fabric of your being. From the prefrontal cortex, the seat of your planning and intention, the spark travels to the motor cortex, a specialized region nestled within the frontal lobe of your brain. Here, within this elegant neural command center, the abstract thought of reach for the apple is translated into a precise, orchestrated sequence of muscle contractions and relaxations. It is as if a master conductor raises their baton, ready to bring an entire symphony to life. From the motor cortex, the commands descend like a swift, silent river. They journey down through the brainstem, a vital bridge connecting your higher brain centers to the rest of your body, and then plunge into the spinal cord. This column of nervous tissue, protected by the sturdy fortress of your vertebrae, acts as the primary highway for motor signals, carrying the brain's detailed instructions to every muscle, every sinew, every fiber awaiting its cue. As these commands race down the spinal cord, they branch off at specific levels, targeting the precise nerves that will innervate the muscles required for the task. To reach for the apple, signals will be dispatched to the muscles of your shoulder, arm, forearm, wrist, and fingers, each receiving its unique set of instructions for contraction or relaxation, for strength or subtlety. But for these commands to yield graceful action, they require a stable foundation, a sophisticated system of levers and fulcrums upon which the muscles can exert their force. This brings us to the magnificent skeletal system. The body's internal architecture, a masterpiece of engineering that is both robust and remarkably adaptable. Your skeleton is far more than a mere collection of static bones. It is a dynamic, living tissue, constantly remodeling itself, adapting to the stresses and demands you place upon it. Each bone, from the sturdy femur in your thigh to the delicate phalanges in your fingertips, is a complex composite material. Imagine a delicate yet strong rebar cage woven from our collagen, a fibrous protein then filled and hardened with a mineral cement primarily composed of calcium phosphate. This unique blend provides both flexibility and incredible strength, allowing your bones to withstand immense pressure while still possessing a degree of resilience. They are the universe's most patient sculptor, endlessly refining your form. Beyond providing structural support and protecting your vital organs, think of the ribcage shielding your heart and lungs, or the skull cradling your precious brain. Your bones serve as the anchors for your muscles. And where bones meet, where the magic of movement truly unfolds, we find the psoas joints. These are the elegant hinges, pivots, and gliding surfaces that grant your body its astonishing range of motion. Consider your shoulder joint, a ball and socket marvel that allows for sweeping circular movements, or your knee, a complex hinge joint that provides stability and flexion. Some joints, like those between the plates of your skull, are fibrous and immovable, serving a protective function. Others, like those in your spine, are cartilaginous, offering limited but crucial flexibility. But the true stars of your daily movement are the synovial joints. The knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, and fingers. Encased in a capsule of connective tissue and lubricated by a viscous egg-white-like fluid, these joints allow for smooth, almost frictionless movement, an elegant ballet of bone on bone, cushioned and protected. They are the silent enablers of every gesture, every step, every nuanced interaction with your environment. With the sturdy framework of the skeleton in place, we turn our attention to the engines of motion, the muscular system. Across your body, over 600 individual muscles work in concert, each a bundle of specialized fibers capable of contracting and relaxing, pulling on your bones to create movement. We have 3 types of muscle tissue, each with its own cosmic purpose. Cardiac muscle, tirelessly pumping the lifeblood through your circulatory system. Smooth muscle, silently orchestrating the internal movements of your organs from digestion to blood vessel constriction. And skeletal muscle, the focus of our current exploration, the voluntary muscles that allow you to reach, grasp, walk, speak, and express the full spectrum of human experience. Each skeletal muscle is a marvel of microscopic engineering. Within every muscle fiber, countless smaller units called myofibrils are arranged in a repeating pattern, and within these myofibrils lie the true molecular architects of contraction, the sarcomeres. Imagine these sarcomeres as tiny, intricate machines, each comprised of 2 primary protein filaments, thick myosin filaments and thin and actin filaments. When that command from your brain arrives, a cascade of events is triggered at the neuromuscular junction, the precise point where a motor neuron meets a muscle fiber. A chemical messenger, a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, is released, binding to receptors on the muscle fiber and initiating an electrical signal. This signal then propagates deep into the muscle fiber, causing the release of calcium ions from internal storage compartments. These calcium ions are the key that unlocks the contractile machinery. They bind to regulatory proteins on the actin filaments, causing them to shift and expose binding sites. The myosin heads, like tiny molecular grappling hooks, then attach to these exposed sites on the actin. Powered by the universal energy currency, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. The myosin heads pivot, pulling the actin filaments closer together. This is the sliding filament theory of muscle contraction. The actin filaments literally slide past the myosin filaments, shortening the sarcomere. As countless sarcomeres shorten simultaneously, the entire muscle fiber contracts, generating force. This process is a marvel of efficiency and precision. To relax the muscle, calcium is actively pumped back into storage, the myosin heads detach, and the filaments slide back to their resting positions. The entire cycle, contraction and relaxation, occurs in fractions of a second, allowing for both rapid, powerful movements and sustained, subtle adjustments. The integration of these systems is nothing short of miraculous. When you decide to reach for that apple, your nervous system doesn't just send a crude contract signal. It sends a finely tuned symphony of commands, coordinating the precise timing and force of contraction in dozens of muscles. Your brain, specifically the cerebellum, a wrinkled fist-sized structure at the back of your brain, works tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring the movement is smooth, coordinated, and balanced. It's the master choreographer, constantly comparing your intended movement with your actual movement, making real-time adjustments to ensure grace and accuracy. Meanwhile, the basal ganglia, a group of nuclei deep within the brain, play a crucial role in initiating and stopping movements, modulating their intensity and preventing unwanted, involuntary actions. Furthermore, throughout this elegant process, your body is constantly receiving feedback. Specialized sensory receptors embedded within your muscles, tendons and joints, collectively known as proprioceptors, are sending continuous signals back to your brain, informing it of the exact position and tension of your limbs. This is your body's internal GPS, allowing you to know where your arm is in space even with your eyes closed, enabling you to adjust your grip or trajectory with exquisite precision. From the first flicker of intent in your motor cortex to the final gentle closure of your fingers around the apple, this is a grand, interconnected ballet. It is the nervous system commanding, the skeletal system providing the stage, and the muscular system performing the intricate choreography, all orchestrated in perfect harmony. You're not merely an observer of the universe. You're an active participant, a mover and a shaker in the most literal sense. Your capacity for movement allows you to explore, to create, to connect, to express the very depths of your being. It is how you navigate the physical world, how you embrace a loved one, how you leave your unique imprint on the cosmic canvas. Every step you take, every gesture you make, is a testament to the billions of years of cosmic evolution, culminating in this breathtaking ability to translate thought into action, intention into tangible reality. This magnificent capacity for movement, however, requires constant fuel, a ceaseless supply of energy to power every muscle contraction, every neural impulse, every beat of your heart. How does your body, this intricate cosmic machine, generate and distribute the vital energy needed for this continuous dance of life? That, my friends, is where our journey continues, as we delve into the systems that sustain this extraordinary living archive. Our journey through the mechanics of existence has so far traced the grand ballet of perception and action. We've watched as your nervous system, a shimmering network of starlight, translated the world into meaning, and then, with equal grace, commanded your muscles to move, to interact, to dance with the universe. But consider this: every thought, every beat of your heart, every subtle shift in your gaze, every single step you take demands an invisible yet undeniable force. It demands energy. Where does this ceaseless current come from? How does your body, this magnificent conduit of cosmic dust and conscious thought, manage to fuel its continuous, intricate operations? This is the question that guides us into Chapter 7, a chapter dedicated to the silent, tireless furnace within you, the very engine of life, metabolism. Imagine, if you will, the universe's most patient sculptor, ceaselessly shaping and reshaping, building up and breaking down, all to maintain a delicate living balance. This sculptor is your metabolism, the sum of all chemical reactions that occur within your body. It is a symphony of transformation, a constant ebb and flow of matter and energy, ensuring that every cell, every tissue, every organ can perform its designated role. We speak of two grand movements within this metabolic dance: anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is the constructive phase, the gentle, patient building of complex molecules from simpler ones, much like a cosmic alchemist forging new stars from swirling nebula. Think of the growth of a child, the repair of a wound, the synthesis of proteins or hormones. These are acts of anabolism requiring an input of energy. Then there is catabolism, the deconstructive phase where larger, more intricate molecules are broken down into simpler ones, releasing the stored energy within their bonds. This is the stellar self-immolation that births new elements, the quiet dissolution that allows for renewal. When you digest food, when your body taps into its energy reserves, you are witnessing catabolism in action. It is a continuous, elegant ballet, where the energy released from breaking down fuels the energy required for building up. But what is this energy, precisely? In the grand economic system of your body, there is a universal currency, a shimmering coin that facilitates every transaction. This currency is adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. Think of ATP as tiny rechargeable batteries always at the ready. Each ATP molecule holds energy in its 3 phosphate bonds. When your body needs to power a muscle contraction, send a nerve impulse, or synthesize a new protein, it simply spends an ATP by breaking off the last phosphate group, releasing a burst of energy and transforming ATP into ADP, adenosine diphosphate. Then, like a diligent worker, your body recharges that ADP back into ATP, ready for the next expenditure. So the crucial question becomes, how does your body make ATP? How does it recharge these essential batteries? The answer lies in a series of breathtakingly elegant processes collectively known as cellular respiration. This is where the fuel you consume, primarily glucose, a simple sugar derived from carbohydrates, is systematically dismantled to extract its stored energy. Our journey into this microscopic powerhouse begins in the cytoplasm, the jelly-like substance filling your cells, with a process called glycolysis. Here, a single molecule of glucose, a 6-carbon sugar, is gently split into 2 molecules of pyruvate, each containing 3 carbons. This initial step is ancient, a relic from a time when Earth's atmosphere held little to no oxygen, and life had to find ways to generate energy anaerobically without air. Glycolysis yields a modest but vital 2 molecules of ATP, a quick spark to get the engine running. Next, these pyruvate molecules embark on a deeper journey, venturing into the mitochondria, the true powerhouses of your cells. These organelles, once free-living bacteria absorbed by ancient cells, are now your body's dedicated energy factories humming with purpose. Inside the mitochondria, pyruvate undergoes a transformation, losing a carbon atom to become acetyl-CoA, which then enters a cyclical series of reactions known as the Krebs cycle, or the citric acid cycle. The Krebs cycle is a marvel of biological engineering. It's not about daily producing vast amounts of ATP, rather, it's a meticulous dismantling process that extracts high-energy electrons from the fragments of glucose. These electrons are then picked up by special carrier molecules, primarily NADH and FADH2, like tiny cosmic couriers carrying precious cargo. Each turn of the Krebs cycle is a subtle, elegant dance, releasing carbon dioxide as a byproduct, the breath you exhale, a testament to this tireless internal combustion. The true crescendo of ATP production, the grand finale of cellular respiration, occurs in the inner membrane of the mitochondria, within the electron transport chain, ETC. This is where those electron carriers, NADH and FADH2, deliver their precious cargo. Imagine a cascade, a series of protein complexes embedded in the mitochondrial membrane, each passing electrons down a gradient, much like water flowing downhill. As these electrons move from one protein complex to the next, they release energy. This energy is not immediately converted to ATP. Instead, it's used to pump protons, hydrogen ions, from one side of the membrane to the other, creating a high concentration of protons in a small space. This buildup of protons creates an electrochemical gradient, a potential energy reservoir, much like water held behind a dam. Nature, always seeking balance, then allows these protons to flow back across the membrane, but only through a specific protein channel called ATP synthase. This incredible molecular machine is like a tiny turbine. As protons rush through it, ATP synthase spins, harnessing that kinetic energy to literally fuse ADP and a phosphate group together, generating a massive influx of ATP. This process, fueled by oxygen acting as the final electron acceptor at the end of the chain, forming water in the process, is called oxidative phosphorylation, and it yields the vast majority of your body's ATP, up to 30-32 molecules per glucose, a testament to its breathtaking efficiency. So from a single molecule of glucose, your body can harvest a remarkable amount of energy. But what if glucose isn't readily available? Your body, ever resourceful, has contingencies. Fats stored in adipose tissue are incredibly efficient energy sources, yielding even more ATP per gram than carbohydrates. Proteins, the body's structural workhorses, can also be broken down for energy, though this is usually a last resort, as their primary role is building and repairing. Each of these alternative fuels enters the metabolic pathways at different points, seamlessly integrated into the grand design. The regulation of this energy economy is a masterpiece of homeostatic control. When you eat, hormones like insulin are released, signaling cells to take up glucose from your blood and either use it immediately for energy or store it as glycogen, a complex carbohydrate in your liver and muscles for short-term needs, or convert it to fat for long-term storage. When blood glucose levels drop, hormones like glucagon signal the liver to break down stored glycogen, releasing glucose back into the bloodstream, ensuring a continuous supply of fuel. You are, in essence, a living flame, a continuous chemical reaction that dances between creation and dissolution, fueled by the very stardust that formed you. Every atom in your being participates in this energetic exchange, transforming the world outside into the life within. The same universal laws of thermodynamics that govern the slow burn of a star or the rush of a river also orchestrate the intricate metabolic pathways within your cells. You're not merely consuming food, you are harnessing the sun's ancient energy, stored within the bonds of molecules, to power your thoughts, your dreams, your very existence. This ceaseless flow of energy is the quiet hum beneath all other functions we have explored. It is the invisible force that allows your cells to maintain their integrity, your tissues to specialize, your organs to cooperate, your senses to perceive, and your muscles to move. Without this metabolic engine, the magnificent symphony of your body would fall silent. As we gently conclude this exploration of your body's tireless energy factory, we carry forward the understanding that life is a constant act of transformation, a continuous interplay of matter and energy. But what happens when this intricate system needs to grow, to repair itself, to replicate its magnificent design? That is where our journey continues, into the miraculous world of cellular division, growth, and the very blueprint of life itself. We will not rush, for each facet of your being deserves our full, quiet contemplation. And so we arrive at the threshold of perhaps the most profound mystery of all, how this magnificent system, fueled by the relentless engine of metabolism, grows from a single microscopic spark into the sprawling cosmos of you, how it repairs the inevitable wear and tear of existence, and how it ensures its own continuity across the vast stretches of time. We have marvelled at the stardust within, the molecular architecture, the cellular bustling, the homeostatic ballet, the senses that paint our world, the muscles that sculpt our actions, and the metabolic fires that sustain it all. But what empowers this ceaseless renewal? What is the secret language of life's perpetuation? To answer this, we must journey inward, to the very core of what makes you, you. We must descend into the nucleus of every cell, a sacred library housing the universe's most intricate and elegant script. Here, nestled within a protective membrane, lies the master architect's scroll, deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA. Imagine, if you will, a spiraling staircase, an elegant double helix woven from threads of cosmic memory. This is your DNA, a molecule of breathtaking beauty and unimaginable power. Each step of this spiral ladder is formed by a pair of chemical letters, adenine, A, always pairing with thymine, T, and guanine, G, always with cytosine, C. These four letters, arranged in countless sequences, form the precise instructions, the genetic code, that dictates every single aspect of your being. From the delicate curve of your fingers to the intricate neural pathways that allow you to contemplate these very words, it is all encoded within this microscopic marvel. You're not just a collection of cells. You are a living archive, a cosmic manuscript, with chapters unfolding across billions of years of stellar evolution and biological innovation. This vast scroll of DNA, if unravelled from a single human cell, would stretch for nearly 2 meters. Yet, it is meticulously folded and packaged into compact structures called chromosomes. Think of chromosomes as the organized volumes in your cellular library, each one a distinct collection of genetic stories, carefully indexed and ready for use. Humans, in their wondrous complexity, typically carry 23 pairs of these chromosomal volumes, for a total of 46, each pair a unique inheritance, one from your cosmic mother, one from your cosmic father. But a blueprint, no matter how exquisite, is only useful if it can be read, copied, and utilized. And life, in its relentless pursuit of existence, is a master of this art. Every moment, even as you sit in quiet contemplation, billions of your cells are engaged in a precisely orchestrated dance of division, a symphony known as the cell cycle. This cycle is life's fundamental rhythm, the pulse of growth, repair, and renewal that defines your very being. The vast majority of your life and the life of your cells is spent in a preparatory phase known as interphase. This is not a period of idleness, but rather one of intense activity and growth. The cell grows, synthesizes proteins, and meticulously duplicates its entire DNA library, ensuring that when the time comes for division, each new daughter cell will receive a complete and identical set of instructions. It's like a careful scribe making a perfect copy of the master scroll before it is passed on. Once this preparation is complete, the cell embarks upon the awe-inspiring process of mitosis. This is the mechanism by which your body grows, replaces old and worn-out cells, and heals its wounds. It is the quiet miracle of self-renewal, occurring countless times within you every second. Mitosis is a 4-act play, a graceful, controlled ballet of cellular mechanics. First, prophase begins. The long thread-like DNA, which was loosely scoured during interphase, begins to condense and coil tightly, becoming visible as distinct X-shaped chromosomes under a powerful microscope. Each of these X's is actually 2 identical copies, called sister chromatids, joined at the center, the perfect duplicates created during interphase. Simultaneously, the nuclear envelope, the protective membrane around the DNA, gently dissolves, unveiling the chromosomes to the cellular stage. Next comes metaphase, a moment of exquisite order and precision. The chromosomes, like disciplined dancers, align themselves perfectly along the cell's central equator, forming a single straight line. Microtubules, tiny protein fibers acting as the cell's internal scaffolding, extend from opposite poles of the cell and attach to the center of each chromosome, poised for the grand separation. It is a moment of perfect symmetry, a testament to the universe's inherent drive for balance. Then, with a gentle but firm tug, anaphase commences. The sister chromatids, those identical copies that form the X, are pulled apart by the shortening microtubules. Each chromatid, now considered a full-fledged chromosome in its own right, journeys gracefully towards opposite poles of the cell. It is a moment of controlled separation, ensuring that each nascent cell receives an exact, complete set of genetic instructions. Finally, telophase brings the process to its elegant conclusion. As the separated chromosomes arrive at their respective poles, new nuclear envelopes begin to form around each set, enclosing them in fresh protective cocoons. The chromosomes themselves begin to uncoil and decondense, returning to their more relaxed, thread-like state. Concurrently, the cytoplasm of the cell begins to divide in a process called cytokinesis, pinching inward until 2 distinct, genetically identical daughter cells emerge. Each new cell is a perfect replica of its parent, carrying the same full complement of the universe's blueprint. This is how your skin renews itself every few weeks, how a cut finger heals, and how you grew from a single fertilized cell into the complex being you are today. It is the quiet, persistent rhythm of life, maintaining the integrity of your internal cosmos. Yet, not all cells are destined for eternal life or endless division. Sometimes, for the health and harmony of the larger organism, a cell must make a graceful exit. This is where apoptosis, or programmed cell death, plays its vital role. This isn't a violent, uncontrolled demise, but rather a carefully orchestrated self-destruction, a cellular suicide that is as crucial to life as cell division itself. Apoptosis sculpts our developing bodies, removing webbing between our fingers and toes in the womb, and later in life, it efficiently eliminates old, damaged, or potentially cancerous cells. It is the body's discerning gardener, pruning away what is no longer needed to allow for robust new growth, a testament to the fact that even in dissolution, there is purpose and beauty. But what about the grander narrative of continuity? How does life extend beyond the individual, creating new, unique expressions of itself? For this, we turn our gaze to a different, even more profound form of cell division: meiosis. While mitosis is about faithful duplication for growth and repair, meiosis is about variation and the creation of new life. This is the process that generates the specialized reproductive cells, sperm in males and eggs in females, the very seeds of future generations. Meiosis is a truly remarkable feat, often called a reduction hormone division. Instead of producing two identical cells with a full set of chromosomes, it produces 4 genetically distinct cells, each containing only half the number of chromosomes, 23 in humans. This halving is critical, for when a sperm and an egg unite during fertilization, their half sets combine to restore the full complement of 46 chromosomes, forming a brand new genetically unique individual. This process involves 2 rounds of division, but its true magic lies in the mechanisms it employs to ensure genetic diversity. During the first meiotic division, something extraordinary occurs: crossing over. Imagine 2 homologous chromosomes, one from your cosmic mother, one from your cosmic father, lying side by side. They literally exchange segments of their genetic material, shuffling the deck of inherited traits. It's like 2 ancient scrolls, each telling a slightly different version of a family history, momentarily intertwining and swapping paragraphs, creating entirely new narratives. Adding to this wondrous complexity is independent assortment, where the homologous chromosome pairs align and separate randomly. This means that the combination of maternal and paternal chromosomes that ends up in any given gamete is entirely a matter of chance, like a cosmic lottery drawing billions of unique tickets. The result of meiosis is an astounding testament to life's creativity. Every sperm and every egg produced is genetically unique. This incredible variability is the engine of evolution, providing the raw material for adaptation and the endless unfolding of new forms of life. It ensures that no 2 individuals, save for the identical twins, a fascinating exception, are ever truly alike, each a unique masterpiece born from the blending of cosmic legacies. So you see, within your very cells lies the story of enduring life, of constant renewal, and of the profound impulse to create anew. You're not merely a static form, but a dynamic, ever-changing cosmos, constantly rebuilding itself, constantly perpetuating its own miraculous existence. From the precise choreography of DNA replication to the grand, sweeping narrative of genetic inheritance, your body is a living testament to the universe's ceaseless creativity. We have now explored the intricate mechanisms that allow your body to grow, to heal, and to pass on its incredible blueprint. We have seen the microscopic architects at work, the silent scribes copying the scrolls of life, and the cosmic dancers performing the ballet of perpetuation. But what does this grand design mean for the overall integrity and defense of this magnificent structure? How does this constantly renewing, self-replicating system protect itself from the myriad challenges of the external world? That, my dear wanderers, is where our journey continues, into the vigilant guardians of your internal universe. And so, we arrive at another threshold, another quiet moment of wonder. We've journeyed through the cosmic forge that birthed your very atoms, watched them dance into molecules, then assemble into the intricate architecture of cells, tissues, organs, and systems. We've seen the delicate ballet of homeostasis, the vibrant tapestry of perception, the powerful poetry of movement, the ceaseless engine of metabolism, and the profound miracle of growth, repair, and heredity. Each step has revealed a layer of complexity, a testament to the universe's capacity for self-organization. But as this magnificent, constantly renewing system stands, breathing and perceiving, moving and metabolizing, growing and replicating, a question naturally arises, echoing in the quiet chambers of our collective consciousness. How does this fragile living masterpiece protect itself from the unseen legions of microscopic invaders, from the rogue cells that might turn traitor within, from the relentless assault of an indifferent world? This, dear wanderer, is where we turn our gaze to the body's most ancient and vigilant guardian, the immune system. It is not a single organ, nor a solitary process, but a vast, distributed network, a silent, ceaseless war machine, operating with breathtaking precision and an almost poetic intelligence. Think of it as your body's own personal universe, complete with its own constellations of sentinels, its own intricate communication networks, and its own profound memory perpetually standing watch. We begin, as always, with the most fundamental layers, the first lines of defense, often overlooked in their quiet efficacy. Before any internal battle can be waged, there are the fortifications, the walls of the citadel. Your skin, for instance, is far more than a mere covering. It is an expansive living barrier, a formidable fortress gate woven from layers of tightly packed cells, impervious to most external threats. It's a desert to many microbes, its slightly acidic surface and constant shedding of dead cells making it an inhospitable landscape. Beyond the skin, where openings into the body are necessary for life's functions, we find the mucous membranes. These delicate moist linings in your respiratory, digestive and urogenital tracts are coated with a sticky, viscous fluid, mucus, a subtle trap of flypaper for pathogens. Tiny hair-like projections called cilia line your respiratory passages, endlessly sweeping this mucus, laden with trapped particles, upwards and outwards, like an unseen tide carrying debris away from the shore. And then there are the chemical sentinels, the silent guardians in the fluid realms, your tears and saliva. Those humble secretions contain enzymes like lysozyme, capable of dissolving bacterial cell walls, a gentle yet potent chemical warfare. Your stomach acid, a churning cauldron of hydrochloric acid, represents a brutal, non-negotiable barrier, annihilating most microbes that dare to enter through your digestive pathway. These are your body's initial non-specific defenses, a broad, unwavering shield against the storm. They are the universal truths of protection, always present, always active, forming the bedrock of your security. Should these initial barriers be breached, the body's internal, non-specific forces awaken. This is your innate immune system, a swift, immediate response that doesn't care who the invader is, only that it is an invader. Here we encounter a fascinating array of cellular warriors. The phagocytes, for instance, are the hungry devourers. Imagine them as microscopic pac-men, ceaselessly patrolling your tissues, engulfing and digesting any foreign particle, any cellular debris, any bacterial interloper they encounter. Neutrophils are the first responders, rushing to the site of infection in massive numbers, sacrificing themselves in a burst of destructive enzymes. Macrophages, larger and longer-lived, are the formidable cleanup crew, capable of devouring vast quantities of pathogens and cellular waste, often presenting fragments of their meals to other immune cells, like storytellers sharing tales of battle. Then there are the natural killer NK cells, a truly remarkable group. They are the body's internal surveillance agents, constantly scanning your own cells for signs of distress or transformation. Cells infected with viruses or even cancerous cells. Without the need for prior exposure or specific recognition, NK cells can detect these aberrations and induce programmed cell death, or apoptosis, in the rogue cells, preventing the spread of infection or tumor growth. It's a quiet, ruthless efficiency, a necessary pruning to maintain the garden of your being. And who could forget inflammation? Often perceived as an unpleasant symptom, the redness, swelling, heat and pain of an injury, inflammation is, in fact, a crucial second line of defense. It's the body's localized distress signal, a rapid response designed to isolate the injury, destroy pathogens, and initiate repair. Blood vessels dilate, bringing more blood, more immune cells, and more healing factors to the site. It's a controlled fire, burning away the threat and clearing the path for restoration. Coupled with this, fever often acts as a systemic response, raising the body's core temperature to inhibit microbial growth and enhance the activity of immune cells. It's an uncomfortable but strategic maneuver, turning your internal environment into a hostile territory for invaders. These innate defenses are always ready, always on guard, a constant general vigilance. But the universe of your body is too vast, the potential threats too varied for a purely non-specific response. For truly sophisticated defense, for memory and precision, we must delve into the realm of the adaptive, or specific immune system. This is where your body learns, remembers, and customizes its attack. Here, the concept of an antigen becomes paramount. An antigen is any substance, usually a protein or carbohydrate, that the immune system recognizes as foreign and potentially harmful, triggering a specific immune response. It's the unique signature, the molecular flag of the enemy. The stars of this specific defense are the lymphocytes, a specialized type of white blood cell. We speak primarily of two main types: B lymphocytes, B cells, and T lymphocytes, T cells. B cells are the architects of what we call the humoral immunity. When a B cell encounters its specific antigen, often with the help of a T cell, it transforms into a plasma cell, a veritable factory churning out millions of specialized protein weapons called antibodies. Imagine antibodies as exquisitely shaped molecular keys, each designed to fit a specific antigen lock. These antibodies don't directly kill pathogens, but they neutralize them in several ingenious ways. They can bind to toxins, rendering them harmless. They can coat bacteria, making them easier targets for phagocytes, a process called adopsonization. Or they can clump pathogens together, agglutination, effectively immobilizing them and signaling for their destruction. It's a sophisticated system of tagging and disarming, a precise and elegant neutralization. Then we have the T cells, the orchestrators and direct combatants of cell-mediated immunity. Unlike B cells, which generally target pathogens circulating freely in body fluids, T cells primarily deal with cells that are already infected or have gone rogue, like cancerous cells. There are several crucial types. Helper T cells are the commanders, the vital communicators. They don't directly kill, but they recognize antigens presented by other immune cells and, upon activation, release chemical messengers called cytokines. These cytokines are like battle cries and strategic orders, stimulating B cells to produce antibodies, activating cytotoxic T cells, and recruiting macrophages to the front lines. They are the central intelligence of the adaptive response. Cytotoxic T cells, killer T cells, are the assassins, the direct action heroes. Once activated by helper T cells and an antigen-presenting cell, they seek out and destroy infected body cells or cancerous cells. They recognize specific antigens displayed on the surface of these abnormal cells, bind to them, and then induce apoptosis, ensuring that the pathogen or cancerous growth cannot replicate further. It's a surgical strike, precise and devastating. The true marvel of the adaptive immune system, however, lies in its capacity for memory. After an initial encounter with a pathogen, both B cells and T cells leave behind a population of memory cells. These memory cells are like a vast library of past battles, quietly waiting. Should the same pathogen ever invade again, these memory cells are swiftly activated, launching a much faster, stronger, and more efficient immune response. This is the principle behind vaccination, a controlled, safe exposure to an antigen, allowing your body to build its immune library without experiencing the full ravages of the disease. It's your body's way of learning from experience, of adapting and evolving its defenses over a lifetime. The immune system, then, is a symphony of coordinated action, a dynamic equilibrium of vigilance and response. It possesses an astonishing ability to distinguish self from non-self, a crucial discernment that prevents it from attacking your own healthy tissues. When this delicate balance is disrupted, when the system mistakenly targets self-components, we witness the challenges of autoimmune diseases, a poignant reminder of the profound intelligence required for internal peace. You're not merely a collection of cells, you're a living universe constantly under siege, constantly defending itself with an elegance that defies imagination. From the simple acid bath of your stomach to the intricate dance of T cells and antibodies, your body is a testament to resilience, a masterwork of biological engineering refined over eons. It is a quiet, ceaseless war fought on a microscopic scale, ensuring your continued existence, allowing you to perceive, to move, to grow, to simply be. We have explored the body's defenses, its internal guardians, and its profound capacity for memory and adaptation. But how do all these magnificent systems communicate, coordinate, and integrate to create the seamless experience of being you? How does the body maintain its internal narrative, its sense of self, amidst this constant flux and defense? That, dear friend, is where our journey continues, into the very heart of the body's grand orchestrator, the system that weaves together every thread of your existence, from the whisper of a thought to the beating of your heart. But we will save that for our next quiet contemplation. For now, let the wonder of your internal fortress settle gently within you.